Alright, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm up to. This is just projects video. Still working on the Camaro. I did get the new motor mounts in and the bushings for the sway bar and all that. I'm still working on stuff, fixing a little body repair. I think I'm gonna probably repaint the whole engine bay. I'm working on the wiring. Gonna depin everything that I don't need. I'm gonna try and keep the ECM to just run the fuel pump and that starter relay thing. So then we go to the carburetor and all that. I also got the rear end out so I could put the 4th gen rear end, the Jupiter, somewhere right in here, but I'm gonna wait until I get all the tubular control arms and painted bar and all that, even for up here too. So also I need to order some more of the rear end stuff for the 4th gen diff, brake parts, and then we should be good on that. All right, so this is like more clips added, but also I got a tripod, so I'm trying to get used to that. So anyway, back to explaining about the Camaro, and I've been thinking about the wheels, because we already have the engine. Still trying to get stuff for the engine, so mostly just gaskets at the time being, and just clean everything up. But I also got to get a carburetor, and I'm trying to also figure out transmission at the same time. So I've been debating on going to manual. I really want to go to manual, but very pricey to get a manual swap on these. A little bit. I thought about throwing the automatic back in it, but this is also a very tight tunnel to reach all the bolts. I couldn't even get off one of these bolts. I'm pretty sure is the driver's side bolt, one of them, to get out. So it'd be easier just to do the manual swap right now. That means I have to take off the brake booster, the master cylinder, which I'm gonna do that anyway, because I'm gonna go to a Wilwood proportioning valve, because I got the 4th gen rear end, which is over there, and we're gonna be going to disc in the rear, and the clutch master and the reservoir goes around in this area, so I have to take that off, and then I could probably redo the lines, and I might redo the gas lines, because I gotta put a regulator somewhere over here, because carburetor. And the plan is to keep the stock fuel pump, and that means I'm going through all this spaghetti noodles of wiring. So I want to just keep the fuel pump running, or just the fuel pump, like I said. But I don't know if the ECM is gonna tweak. So if not, then we'll just redo everything, which is kind of useless because the wiring's good. Another thing is, like I said, I was doing all the suspension, waiting on that to come in. Wheels, that's also another thing. I'm trying to figure out wheels at the moment. I'm either wanting to get a set of ZR1 wheels or SS wheels, 4th gen Camaro wheels, because they look good, still 5-spoke. They would fit fine. I just need to run a little bit of a spacer in the front. But that, or I want BMW Pirelli wheels. Now, they are 5x120, not 5x120.65, whatever. Now, there is 2 options with that. Well, a lot of options. The BMW wheels, you can put them on the Camaro without, well, you might need a spacer. because sometimes they come staggered. So 9.5 in the rear and 8.5 in the front. Now, I'm not a big staggered guy. But I really wanted all 9.5 wheels. They're 18 by 9.5. And then, of course, 18 by 8.5. If I did 18 by 9.5, I may not have many problems for the rear, just because the Fortune diff is 1 inch longer on each side. But the front might be a problem because I don't know if I'm going to hit the strut and the tie rods. So I'm trying to figure that out. Or we can just get all 18 by 8.5s, and then I can run a adapter from a 5 by 120.6 to a 5 by 120, which would kind of give me that 9.5, and it would still clear the front just fine. So, debating on that. If I didn't do that and just got 9.5 wheels, then I would change all the lugs, the lug studs, change up all the lug studs on here. And that back here wouldn't be as bad because I was gonna get ARP lug studs because it wouldn't be that bad. But the front would suck because if I had to change the brakes, then I gotta punch them out of the rotor every time, because 5 by 120, some people say that the wheel studs or the lug nut studs snap and then the wheel goes flying into the fender. So I don't really want to do that. So there's like two options: the 8.5 wheels with the adapters, or we get the 9.5s and just do the studs. But I think I kind of want to do the 8.5. It'd just be a lot safer. Or we can just get the Fortune Camaro wheels and don't have to have a worry in the world except for the front. We just need a spacer. What else? Or I don't really want to, but I really want weld Venturas for this. So they look good. Everyone has them though. That's the one thing I didn't want, is because everyone has them. So that's also an option. Gotta get all the suspension stuff, waiting on that. I'm gonna probably I'm either gonna touch up the paint in here, or I'm just gonna reshoot the whole engine bay, because I had to go and clean up this whole radiator shroud. I'm gonna call it, well, it's not a shroud, but the support brace, whatever it is. I gotta clean up the steering gear box and this whole area. Now, the coolant reservoir went here, and I decided I might just patch this up, or I might just leave a hole here and go to a 4th gen Camaro coolant reservoir, which is basically the battery tray, and then right under the battery tray is the coolant reservoir. So I might do that too, just to make it look cleaner. And I might take off the windshield wiper fluid thing, because I never hardly use it, and I don't really hardly drive this car in the winter. So I just clean it up a bit. I know it sounds stupid to get rid of that, but I've seen a couple people not have it. And then over here, we're getting rid of the AC. Kind of probably stupid on me, but I might get a vintage air system sometime. So for the time being, I gotta find a non-AC car box, so then I can run just the heater blower motor thing. So we gotta put that there. And yeah, trying to think what else. Interior, I'm not really worried about interior. The only thing I'm going to get about the interior is trying to figure out the rest of the wiring to depin. And when I got to drill the hole for the clutch. And I got to put the clutch pedals in and all those other pedals in. And the shifter. So I got to do that too. But right now I'm on hold for the whole thing because I'm trying to pay bills. You know how it goes. And then we can do it. So like I said, I'm going to get UMI lower control arms, tubular, and all the UMI tubular stuff for the back to put on here. For the 4th gen, I got most of the parts here. I'm going to probably just do new front rotors just because I got new rotors for the back. I might as well put new ones in the front. I'm just going to run the stock struts for now. And I have UMI lowering springs. Not crazy lowered, but good enough for me. And here's all the rest of those parts and the bumper, sadly. The thing is, the other 2 projects, I don't say the one's a project and the other one's really not a project, but it's just little projects, more content. But the one car needs tires, and I'll show you these wheels, and I might put them on there once it warms up because it's like 20 degrees out in Indiana. Very cold, very snowy. I don't like it. So, but I'll show you these wheels. So that's my dad's car, but I need some tires. Yes, it's for an Avani that's out there. So I might throw these tires, wheels and tires on just because I need tires. And I'm a big snowflake guy, so I might throw these on there because it might look good on the Avani out there. So we might throw those on when it warms up so we have tires. I will have to show you that car that is out there once the snow melts and it's warm and it's awesome and not cold. And then we will talk about the other vehicle, which is pretty basic, but it's my work rig, daily driver, and pretty much just a cool similarity brand to this. This is the truck, product number 2, aka the daily driver. I'll just explain it. Okie dokie. This is the daily driver, aka the truck, Jolene. It's a little messy at the moment, but I got a center console out of an HD, out of a junkyard. I gotta go back to the junkyard to get the bracket because I forgot to get the bracket, and the seats are battery powered. These are not battery powered, they're like the bar sliders. So I have to go back and get the center bracket for this. So this section bolts down. This section's bolt down, but it also didn't have the cup holder. But I got it if I ever manual swap the truck. So this is the daily. Basically, I traded the Marquis for this truck because I wanted a truck really bad. And then I had to do fuel lines, fuel filter, injectors, coil packs, spark plug wires, and spark plugs. And I just recently did the oil cooler lines, but I found out people just put a block off plate where the oil cooler lines go, and I did that instead because the clips for the oil cooler lines going onto the radiator geysered oil everywhere. So I just decided to do a block off plate because I'm not really doing a bunch of towing right now with it. So, but I do have the lines just in case I do towing. So as you can see, the oil cooler lines went here. My plan was to literally cut the line, put a hose to it, and literally just put a clamp here into the line, but that didn't work. But now I know for next time, I am just gonna get, for like the transmission lines, if they ever leak, hopefully not, I'm just gonna get some AN fittings and rig those up down to the transmission. So yipper. Funny enough, the truck is the same color as the marquee, which is kind of funny to me. But solid rig. Rear wheel drive because I don't care. And still got a little rust, which I will repair the rocker rust whenever. But this is project number 2. Also just daily. Project number 3. This is Studebaker Avani. It's cold. I'll give a little bit of a, this is crappy camera angle, but I'll give a little rundown on the car. It was originally my dad's. I grew up with this car. My dad rebuilt everything on it. And my dad collects and restores these. And he owns like 15 of these. And this one sat around, did nothing. And when I was in high school, I started to drive it again and fix it up. And I took it to shows right around the time I graduated high school. So now I just fix it up and drive it, and I really enjoy it. So, give a little bit of details on the Avani. Okay, back to what I was saying before. Goldilocks is a 1963 Studebaker Avani. And I'll show you some stuff we gotta do to her, because she runs and drives fine, but of course, still, even though my dad restored a bunch of stuff on it over time, so I'd say like, see, I'm 20 something now, so about 20 years. Well, let's say like 10 years, stuff still gets deteriorated. So I could see the chrome starting to rust, but I'm not really worried about that right now. But what I do need to do is get new light bulb sockets for the turn signals because they're rusted out. So we're rocking no turn signals. Very safe. But Goldilocks is a 289, Studebaker 289, not a Ford 289. But I need to get some stuff done, clean up the whole engine and all that. And I definitely need to get some gaskets for the exhaust because that one right there looks like it's about to start leaking. Trying to think what else. Probably clean up the coolant lines and all that. And maybe take off the AC because it doesn't work. Even though it's updated for the newer AC. Let's go over here. Oh my gosh, no. Oh no. There we go. It's cold in Indiana. Anyway, interior is a little shot, but it's alright. It adds character. Race car. We have it all redone. I just got to redo all these weather seals so it doesn't leak in here anymore. And also Miata seats because my dad needed support for the neck just in case he got in an accident, which honestly they work very well in here. Oh, ow. Gas tank. Yeah, I know. Right there, exposed. Pretty cool. Nothing much really to see in here besides it being a Studebaker Avani. Oh! Forgot about that. The heater core. Heater core's leaking. Either the heater core itself is leaking. Well, I mean, you can kind of see. Or the control valve, which is... Oh, where the heck is it? It's right here. So, that's either leaking or all the hoses are shot. So, that's going to be a video I'm going to film too. Is on replacing all these hoses, the control valve, and probably the heater core itself in here. Because we don't want to have that leaking anymore once it gets warmer up. I had to go back inside the garage because it's like 20 degrees out and I don't really like the cold. So those are the projects. That's what's going on right now. Definitely going to see more videos on the Gold car. So I would like to get some more stuff done on that. Take it to shows this next spring. So in March or April, once they have more shows, I would definitely like to take those. Or I'd like to take that to more shows. But also, I really want to get the Camaro done. Because she is just chilling. But money. So yeah, that's the projects, I guess.